Sarnin, just testing out the new multi-stream setup. So basically, I'm going to try to uh, stream where I can, when I can, and the what's the word I'm looking for? The content that I will be creating is probably going to be more along the lines of uh, simple stuff at first, and things that I feel are not really suitable for offline let's play style videos. The title of this is because I'm also going to be multi-streaming. It'll be on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I could not get Kick to work for some reason. It like just wouldn't connect. I was not able to get onto TikTok because it turns out you need 1,000 followers on TikTok to stream there. And for Instagram, I will. There's. It can be done. I'm just not entirely sure how. But yeah. So the we'll see how it goes. The oh, so let me show you my. Come on, detect. This facial thing is a little hit and miss. Come here, dude. Like by a little hit and miss, I mean a lot hit and miss. Yeah, this thing's. There we go. So yeah, this Doge thing is going to be my avatar because I am poor, I am a disabled veteran, and I do not have $10,000 to commission a expensive VTube avatar. If someone wants to do pro bono work, just to help the old white monster machine himself, I would be very grateful, but I do not expect anyone to actually do that. I may end up also doing just like just you know talking streams. Like I'm not gonna try to become fucking Asmongold or Hassan. Try to do a little bit more than like just reaction videos. Like I don't think that like Asmongold actually plays video games anymore. I think he just does reactions. But the yeah, this is just gonna be like a sort of like passive income with the this thing is not good at detecting my mouth. Like I said, this is the budget fucking VTube. But the also going to be testing this out. Like right now I am on Windows 11 and I will try to make a video, like a full just video of my journey with trying to install a third solid state drive on my computer, which I did eventually do. That was the easy part. Um, well, easy as in once you got over the fucking hundreds of dollars it cost. But the my adventure with trying to install Linux on that one has been a fucking nightmare, and I had to delete my C drive because I was fucking with the UEFI, which is how your Windows like secure boot thing is, and somehow I lost my UEFI keys because the install was the OEM one, which is like the one that comes from the company, of course, they're straight from the factory type of thing, and I fucked it up, and now I can't get it in there, so I had to try to reinstall Windows. The only saving grace is that my app data folder, which has all my configurations for Penumbra and my FF14, mod stuff, and my mods folder itself, and basically my entire D drive where I keep all my games. Wisely, I had put all of that on my external drive, and So I was able to reinstall Windows. Was able to test drive Pop a little bit. It didn't work very well that first drive. And I had to reinstall Windows. Yeah, I had to like reinstall fucking everything. And then I had a debloat script from privacy.sexy that went too far, and I had to reinstall Windows again. And so, yeah, that's where I've been. And hey, bitch pudding for the win. How's it going? Sorry, I'm still a little new to this, so I haven't actually been paying attention here. Let me just do this. Or I'll scale myself up. And the I have to really emphasize, like, open my mouth for Doge here to acknowledge that I am speaking. But the yeah, like I said, the face detection on this is not the best. But oh, Hana, hey, what's up? Yeah, no, like this is one of my test stream with multi-streaming. Bitch pudding for the win, nice name. I like that. I was just talking about my adventure with fucking Linux, and having to reinstall Windows multiple times. And also, you should check session. And yeah, so I finally got my fucking budget VTube avatar Doge here working with its poor mouth detection, and like the mouth needs to be a little bit more exaggerated. And the right now, like, I'm also on Twitter. I don't see the oh, I can just click on the fucking link. I have 3 views, and yeah, Linux. Yeah, yeah. So I I I I don't know why I got let myself get talked into it. Why I bought into the hype of Linux gaming. Really? Oh, that's weird. The huh, strange. Yeah, no, like mine, it buzzes my phone. Well, I also have it on. There's a desktop app you can install, and then that just the desktop app nowadays. I'm not actually getting sound notifications anymore. I guess because the old sound notifications were fucking annoying. But I just leave it running. Like Session is a very low overhead app, so it's just in the background. But yeah, a bunch of stuff there. Because I'm literally live streaming. I won't talk about it here, but yeah, a lot of things there. And for those who are tuning in, I strongly suggest all of you um, uh, get Session, and I suggest all of you donate to Session so that we can keep its doors open. It is a anonymous, like onionized. It's like Tor style, extra secure. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Messenger, and in this day and age, that is having a secure end-to-end encrypted messenger that's anonymous is the way things are going. That's going to be a lot more important for a lot of people. Anyway, Hannah, so like I was saying, I fucking had to nuke my C drive and D drive, reinstall everything. I did recover because I was using my big brain mode. I did save my app data and my mods folder and everything, like my entire D drive, onto my external. And all of my G poses and things like that were on the external, so those got saved. I had to reinstall Windows several times. Yeah, I had like a fucking, like, last Monday I had like a fucking nuclear crash out because I thought that I had like fucked up the hardware on my computer somehow, and I thought that, like, this is a $4,000 rig that I saved for years for, you know, because I wanted it to last years. And it's like, I don't know if this is still covered by the warranty because it's been a couple of years, you know? Like, I was like fucking, you know, on fucking DuckDuckGo because I don't use fucking Google unless I absolutely have to. Because Google's gone to shit anyway. But besides the spyware, like, the Google has created a perverse incentive for having bad search results in order to get people to pay to be higher up. But anyway, where was I going with that? So I was like at the point where I was like fucking DuckDuckGo, you know, which fucking shotgun gauge tastes the best? That's where I was at. You know, like I was having a fucking serious fucking crash out. Yeah, like it's like, well, I have a friend of a friend. So on Twitter, my good friend you, who has like 8,000 followers there, very good at Wolf Girl fucking lewd, and the they had a friend. They introduced me to a fellow veteran, and she has a master's in electrical engineering. And she was like, "Oh, you probably didn't brick the computer. You just, need to reinstall not from your OEM, but reinstall like from the Windows boot media, and then you can turn off secure boot and still be able to log into the third boot disk or the second boot disk, which is my third solid state drive because I have three total now." And I did that and was like, okay, so it's working, okay, because the first like the Windows reinstall was not working correctly, although that might have had something to do it wasn't recognizing my Ethernet card. Like I thought that I'd fried my fucking motherboard. Like I had to do the trick with a screwdriver to short out your fucking BIOS battery to reset BIOS because things were so fucked. And I was like, I just fucking shorted out the entire motherboard. I just fucking voided the warranty, like fucking, you know, I need to get a working computer so I can print out my fucking, you know, uh, unalive fucking letter. I don't know if we're allowed to say that, but so anyway, then after I fucking finally reinstalled everything on Windows, I went and I tried Bazite, and like the things weren't working. Like there was like a period of like during that, like not this week, but the last week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where I was trying a few things, and like everything was just fucking fucked up. Like I thought my Ethernet card was fried. But once I completely like she told me, it's like, hey, you probably have corrupted UEFI, which is like your login, your boot secure key. That's probably fucked up, and because you have leftover data, so you need to not format the drive, delete them, C and D, which is the two that come with the computer, and fucking reinstall Windows. And fortunately, everything was backed up onto the external, except for my current artwork. I lost my artwork and project, and the what was I gonna say? I was like, I'm ready to fucking buy this girl like fucking dinner. I'm gonna fucking uh, buy all of her feet pics. She doesn't sell that. She's not that kind of girl. But they like by just like the face rig logo out of there. Sorry, we're face rig, but I'm not gonna fucking shill you. I paid to use you. One time fee, so like for us budget VTubers. Anyway, so I was like, I will buy you a fucking ring. Like, holy fuck, you don't know how much of a fucking crash out you saved me. Like cortisol levels were lowered, and the I ended up after doing a little research. It's like I wanted to try Pop, and it's like on my laptop I have Pop. Pop, that's what it's called. Pop with an exclamation point OS, and on my laptop where I don't fucking do like anything, it works fine. Like as a something that like the thing about Linux is that for like the user friendly ones like Mint and Pop, they use less resources. So for shit ass old laptops, like the VA gave me an old laptop for college, and the like it has a fucking GTX 1050 fucking video card. Like it'll never play anything more advanced than like fucking Diablo 3, you know. But the so because I don't push it, like yeah, like Pops, like as a very friendly Linux, like yeah, it works, because I don't do anything with it other than like Discord and web browsing. But so I ended up with Nobara, which is like this niche fucking distro. I'm learning Linux lingo. Like a distro is like a Linux like install, and it supposedly is optimized for gaming and it's streaming specifically. And unlike Bazite, Bazite is immutable. What that means is that just like SteamOS, which is it is trying to be a direct clone of SteamOS, because SteamOS is not released for regular desktops yet. And Bazite was what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, apparently that the fact that you can't change the system files without like a big fucking with a lot of shit, and that's good if you are worried about an update breaking something, because then you just click a button and like nothing gets saved. You just go back like a Windows restore point. Like it's very good for that, which is why SteamOS uses it. because they don't want you to fuck with the OS. And the thing is, like, Steam OS is originally designed for the Steam handheld, meaning that like you don't need to be tweaking and fucking with it. Like, just play fucking Steam games. So anyway, I have settled on Nobara, and I've been like on it, and it's like it feels like it is a little bit faster. Like Nobara, because it's a mutable one, it's a lot easier to set up and configure things like streaming, and I did like I feel like for basic things, Linux is probably viable. Like if you're not gaming, like if you don't need like NVIDIA fucking drivers, you can install Mint, and it is a leaner, more private Windows. Like it doesn't have anywhere near the spyware. And right now, I'm currently on my Windows boot with a debug or a debloat script. I think I've sent you a few of those. There's a few scripts. Be careful with that privacy.sexy one, but I can send you a few others. I've sent you what the hell is it called? It is OOE or some shit like that. God, I forget. Like it's like O and OE like shut up. It's like something Windows 11 OO shut up. You can Google it. Anyway, what it does is it has a very convenient, like you just open the program and it gives you like a big list of things to check to debloat Windows, like disable Copilot, disable telemetry, which is their spyware, where it phones home. Disable this, disable that. I learned the hard way. You should not actually uninstall Edge. Yeah, apparently, I think it's called WebApp 2, WebView 2, something that's in Edge. So like, just don't use it, but do not uninstall Edge. And there's a reason why normally you can't uninstall it. But yeah. But with the Nobara, it's like it so far it's actually run pretty good. The KDE, which is their desktop environment, I found it's like, yeah, like someone it is literally a one-man show. There's one dev, so I'm not sure if there's a future for Nobara, simply because like that's an entire operating system is kind of a lot to put on one guy, but he's done a pretty good job. And like I said, it's optimized for gaming and streaming, like content creation, and so it comes like OBS pre-installed, things like that, things that are a little bit more of a pain in the ass on Bazzite, but it's pre-configured. It's actually not as bad as you might think. Certain things are a motherfucker though, like trying to get 5.1 surround sound, which is where you have 5 speakers. Like there's 2 front ones, a center one, the bass that the cat is sleeping on right now. Like you'd think that would wake it up. All right, it lost my face. Hold on. Hey. Doge, look at me. There we go. And the 2 rear speakers. Well, on Linux, because it like on Windows, you just go to the Realtek website, click download, and then open the Realtek, audio HD program. Like it takes like 2 fucking minutes, and like a minute and 45 seconds of that is just the download. Like it's so fucking easy. On Linux, it is like this like multi-hour ordeal. Like you're basically using headphones. Now when I'm recording games and shit, like I'm using headphones anyway, but still it's like bruh, there's things like that. And Nobara has good NVIDIA support, fortunately. All right, it's specifically designed around that. Pop! OS has good video support. It's designed around that. Bazzite and Kashi OS, like I'm becoming familiar with all these Linux OSs. They are pretty good about that. And it's like, I think the thing is like the performance gain compared to Windows is going to be like 3 to 5% FPS, and then it's going to be worse on some games. What it does do is I've noticed that it does run, like the system as a whole is leaner and runs a little faster. For example, I've noticed that like a debloated Windows, like it's like 10 to 15% faster, I've noticed, when you take out all that shit. And I have a pretty good rig that can bear all that overhead. But it's like, with Windows 11 is so fucking bloated. Now, fortunately, Windows 11 has gotten a little bit better in the last couple of patches, and that they've finally realized that Windows 11 is so bad that people are actually starting to consider Linux. Like, that's how fucking bad it is. Like that's how you know you've, done fucked up. Like, the, yeah, so like they finally were like forced to pay some fucking attention And yeah, so they have plans to scale back some of that. Like it's still a spyware ridden thing, you know, but the it's tolerable. And the thing about Windows, like a lot of stuff is just native to Windows. Like things just work on Windows. Like you download the exe because there's an exe for Windows. You know, you double click it, it installs. You know, and the app self updates. Like with Nobara and others, like you have to go to either the command line, you know, or you have to go to like the like these app stores, like Flatpak store or the Nobara store and things like that. And it's like the store implies that it's paid. It's not. It's just a collection of you know, repo like GitHub repos for various programs, and you know, you have to click update all manually and that kind of thing. Uh, it's not like that bad, but it is frustrating for things like surround sound. Certain games like if you run Battle.net games, like Blizzard games, like it's like you have to get like these middlemen, like you know, Port Proton or Lutris. Like Lutris didn't even fucking work, you know. So I had to use Port Proton. Steam is of course the one that's pioneering all this. Like Steam, like when I booted up Nobara, it already had Steam pre-installed Proton, which is the middleman layer, so that it can run Windows games through in Linux, and it's actually runs them quite well. Uh, that was already pre-configured. So like for someone in my specific situation where it's like I'm doing content creation, streaming, and video games, but not necessarily AAA games. Like I'm not playing like games with kernel level anti-cheat like fucking Fortnite. You know, in fact, Fortnite, it's like I'm sorry, but those are like Chinese spyware. Same with like Where Winds Meet and stuff like that. If you read the EULA, like those are like incredibly invasive fucking companies and doing God knows what with all that data. But anyway, the it hasn't been too bad. It's like I haven't gone and set up like my streaming thing, you know, game recording on the Nobara install yet. But the I'm going to try it with games again. Like the idea where like when I got this fucking harebrained idea, it's fucking $1,000 later, um, was to have the Linux actually be my daily driver, like the OS that I typically boot to, and then for things like that are like Blizzard games, like they technically run on Linux, but like they're a little bit iffy. But have like things like FF14 posing be on the Windows one, because like managing all the mods and reshade like it's one of those another thing that stands out, like reshade doesn't work on Linux really. Like I couldn't see a way. Um, the there's a few other things like that, like modified stuff that's like yeah nope. And so like for GPO, and then like NVIDIA Ansel, like the ones that I used to take 8K pictures, um, until 8K has color inversion, and they haven't updated the app to fix that yet. So now it's 4K. But like those painterly ones, like that one of You and Me, like the Lich King with those, and you with the you know, as the Dark Ranger, you know, Sylvanas look. Uh, that one was through NVIDIA Ansel and the Painterly filter. Well, that the NVIDIA app isn't there for Linux, so yeah, like for pure like screenshots like that. Did Gshade work? I did not look at Gshade, but I would imagine it probably wouldn't. Yeah, but I'll look. Like yeah, I had kind of a little falling out with the Gshade, you know, Discord, because they it's like, look, if I need help, you know, don't just tell me like basically to get good. Like fuck, like if you don't have the patience to deal with people with questions you deem stupid or silly or irrelevant, or who you know, people who don't understand enough about the technicalities to give you the information that you need, like you have to really handle them. Like if you don't, then don't do it. Like if you don't, if you're not patient enough for that, then just have, you know, uh just just don't be in tech support, you know, just stay out, you know. But the yeah, I'll take a look at Gshade next time I'm over there. But the yeah, so for FF14 like Gposing, that'll be entirely Windows. Things like Cyberpunk with Vortex mods, I will look into it, but I don't think Vortex mods play very nicely, so that will probably be a Windows only. Things like World of Warcraft, if I get back in that, will be Windows only, more than likely, but I don't quote me on that. Um, there's also things like Adobe, like they've made a lot of headway with this, but stuff like Adobe Creative Suite is notorious. Like there's a lot of like proprietary like professional software that just doesn't work. Oh, fun fact. I don't know who in the name of God would actually use this, but I found a link when I was trying to repair Windows for Microsoft Edge that people on Windows don't even fucking use for Linux. I was like, knowing Linux nerds, like, what fucking Linux nerd is going to download Microsoft Edge as their browser? Like, it's like that'd be like installing like Windows telemetry on Linux. Like why? Like who's? I guess there's like a developer who wants to make sure it works with Microsoft Edge. Is I guess the niche case. But yeah, so the other I've noticed that my Xbox controller that I use for certain games like very poorly because I'm not actually very good at like I haven't like used a console regularly since like the fucking army, you know, like like when I had a PlayStation 2. Yeah, I have no muscle memory. Yeah, I hate Edge. Like Edge is here's a fun fact. Edge is actually, for as far as Chromium based browsers, Edge is actually like when you disable all the bullshit in it, surprisingly fast. I still wouldn't use it, but it's like, you know, deceptively okay-ish at what it does, which I found really interesting. But yeah, like it does a very good job of downloading LibreWolf. That's LibreWolf, and that's a more privacy specific what's the word I'm looking for? Uh more privacy specific Firefox fork that I highly recommend. I use that daily. And then so with LibreWolf, and then it just comes with a uBlock origin, and then with WebRTC disabled, that's again that's makes it very hard for people to for websites to track you and auto blocks things like canvas fingerprinting and that sort of thing. Um, so yeah, I use LibreWolf, and then I have a Mullvad browser, which is as the backup, and then I use Brave if for some reason like a website only is going to work with Chromium, which is rare, but it does occasionally happen. And yeah, the let's see what else. The network card I have, like updating it to be more stable on Linux has been problematic. Like on Windows, it was problematic too. Like I use Proton VPN, which is on a 40% off sale. You should look into it. Hiding your network data from your ISP, especially an American-based one, is probably going to be more of a priority as we move forward. And Proton is pretty fast. Uh, like as far as like it's the medium of security where it's like the Proton suite, Proton Mail, which you should get because it's mails between two Proton accounts are end-to-end encrypted, unlike Google Mail's spyware, like where they literally are reading your emails to train their AI and God knows what else. You know, sell your data, information about you. But the yeah, like they use Proton VPN, and it is pretty good. It is not as good on Linux because, again, like the problem with Linux is that, yeah, like there's very little support for it. Like it's all open source everything, and that works in some cases just fine. Like DaVinci Resolve, the video editor that I'm going to start using because I canceled my Adobe subscription because I realized, why am I paying $20 a fucking month for this? I barely use it to do what? To add some text bubbles to a fucking GPose. To, you know, use, you know, Premiere Pro to edit videos, except that I'm such a low skill video editor that it's like I'm not doing anything other than fucking dropping the intro, the raw footage, edit, you know, cutting the raw footage and then dropping the outro. Like I don't, like I'm not making movie magic with it to justify the cost. Adobe Lightroom I am going to miss, but I found some alternatives for Lightroom. Like if you want to edit your G poses, it's called On1, like ON1, photo raw. You know, like a fucking FF14 cat girl's cream pie. The yeah, I went there because like on Twitter my feed is like 75% cat girls getting fucking drilled and filled. Welcome to FF14. But the It's actually a pretty good, user-friendly app to kind of like touch up and crop and tweak photos in the way that Lightroom does. And it is currently 50% off, so I went for it. To replace Audition, because like you can use Adobe Audition to make like yourself like fucking like give yourself a Kylo Ren voice, for example, things like that. If you know what you're doing, I don't. So like I'll just be using OBS or Audacity for voice recording. For art, surprisingly enough, my art tablet, my expensive Wacom Cintiq Pro, works just fine on Linux, even though I don't have the Wacom driver update app. That's obviously for Windows only, but yeah, it works. And that became a huge fucking pain in the ass because I would left it plugged in and I was installing these different OSs. Well, it kept thinking that my tablet, which was turned off, was the primary like screen. So it's like, why is the desktop blank? Why is nothing working? Ah, I was having a fucking nerd rage crash out on Linux, and I'm like, oh, you know what? The installer is appearing. It's just not on the right desktop. So I just literally just unplugged my second monitor and my drawing tablet. And it's like, okay, well now I have like, everything's installed, everything's working. Um, Krita, which is the drawing program that I use, um, is works is yeah just fine for Linux. Krita is open source and free. And it is remarkably user friendly compared to the alternatives. Like I was trying to use the my I'm in the free trial of Corel Painter to 2023, and it fucking sucks. Like it just sucks. Like these are like 90s programs that just have like feature bloat added on without being streamlined. Like I'm not saying they need to take away features. I'm just saying it's like because the people who you finally got Photoshop, yeah, it's like I'm gonna miss like certain yeah, like on I guess it's easy to get Photoshop, from the old peg leg pirate on Linux. Like they finally got Photoshop working on Linux. But it's like yeah, like there's like if you know how to use it, which I don't, like yeah, there's cool things like the so funny story. Um so when if you've seen some of the G poses I've done with like blood or like those alien ones where it's dripping saliva, like I'll actually miss it for that. I finally figured out how to draw that. Well, so because FF14 people being what they are, um, the way I learned was because on some GPO server, someone sent me like a styles, I guess, which are like pre-made like settings for things like had no clue they existed. They're pre-made settings for things like stroke and drop shadow, etc. Nice, nice. Yeah, if you know someone who has some or to get a copy of um you know that yeah I would love to borrow a discount from uh someone the but you can message me about that on session. What was I going to say? The Lightroom, like for G posing, like I actually used Lightroom a lot, but Photoshop, so yeah. Someone sent me a fucking a template, like a styles template for fucking nut. Yeah, that's right. That's because that's what FF14 players would actually fucking use it for. Okay, so I don't really do like porn G poses though. So I was like, what am I gonna fucking do with this? But I was like, wow, like I did not know this existed though. Well, I realized I can tweak these. Like they're not set in stone. And it's like, okay, well, I can make it less, cum and more blood or saliva. And but yeah, like if you see like those pictures of like Alien and you see it dripping saliva, that's originally some cum fucking brush that someone sent me on FF14. Fresh from painting on some fucking cat girl getting her asshole blown out or something. And yeah, like I just repurposed it and was like, okay, there, boom, saliva. So it's like there are certain like niche uses like that, where it's like I would like to have, you know, a discount copy of Photoshop for. Lightroom is objectively a very useful program, but on one photo, which is 50% off if you want it. I actually recommend it. Like it's actually been pretty useful. You know what? I'm live streaming. What here? Let me show your ass something. Let's see here. Here, so I can just add to the scene. Where is properties? Okay, sorry, I'm still new to this, so let me just shrink myself down. I obviously did not plan for this entirely. Okay, so it's downloading a bunch of updates, but oh well, okay. So here you can see like the so here is a piece of art, and the it seems like this the stream. Oh, okay, here we go. 1 second. Let's get this. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm still used to this. Yeah, Blender. Fellaini was telling me that it's like, yeah, I should learn to use Blender for uh, making mods and for a little side hustle. And she's probably right. Come on, there we go. So yeah, so this is on one, and like you can, you know, treat things like exposure like it's basically Lightroom. Like it's basically Adobe Lightroom, except instead of paying all the fucking time, you pay $50. It's 50% off. So you pay $50 once, and you instead of being milked for like fucking everything. This is my this is Bridgerton if it was good for those watching. This is how I got Fellaini to, you know, come with me to dance. If you want, like, it's a Sims party. I think what if I can tomorrow or tonight? I don't remember, but the you know, tomorrow or like I think it's this weekend, and it's Bridgerton themed, and yeah, so but I thought it's like, you know what, Bridgerton needed a white monster, so here you can see like you can make like, you know, AI recommended filters, and like filters are made by people, but the AI can help you with suggestions, or you just, you know, don't like. And if you go over to here, where's the nav levels history, you just click through if you don't like it, you know, go back, and then like structure is like it's kind of like clarity. If you the clarity, the clarity FX in Reshade, if you've ever used that, which I have. And here's haze, and other things like that. Like I said, for if you're familiar with Lightroom, like this is actually a very intuitive. Like even for someone who doesn't know a fucking thing about anything like me, it's yeah very intuitive. So you can see here like all the settings I had, and yeah, like it saves your uh your pictures in a album for you. Controlled lens correction. Yeah, so I actually bent this one a little bit, but anyway, the transform you can yeah, let's turn on transform. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. You can just like things like that. Like so, like if you're trying to mess with um like G poses like after edits and things like that. Yeah, I used the fuck out of Lightroom, and I will now be using the fuck out of On1. That's what it's called. On1, like ON1 Photo Raw 2026. And it is 50% off. And that's my shill for now. But what else have I been fussing with? DaVinci Resolve is the video editing that I've been doing, or the one that I just got, like D Adobe, and it works on Linux, and it's very convenient because with the moment you open it, it asks you, you know, do you have experience with these? And it lists like all the other, like Adobe Premiere Pro, for example. And you could click on them and it says, okay, here, I'll just rearrange all the windows to look like that if that's what you're used to. So it's like, oh, that's fucking helpful. You know, that is really helpful. Helpful is not something you associate with Linux. DaVinci Resolve is one free, two surprisingly powerful for freeware, and three for Windows and Linux. Um, Let me see what else. And then for as a replacement for Photoshop, there's a couple of options. Um, GIMP, like yeah, that is what it's called, GIMP. As a very curious name, is it's a weaker Photoshop. It's not as good. I don't love it, but it's, you know, it'll do the basics. If you need Photoshop for basically, you know, simple edits like me, there's Photopia, which is a website where it's free. Like you just upload, you know, the file that you're working on, and the it has a lot of Photoshop type features, and it can open Photoshop files such as the .psd. If you have, here, I'll send it to you on Discord. Where are you? If you have files like this is how I you make these text bubbles for my memes, is by opening that in Photoshop, and then or Photopia, and then I open the GPose, and then I copy paste the whichever text bubble I want to use. And you know, it still gets fucking under my skin that this Doge avatar doesn't detect mouth movement very well. Like I'm not opening my mouth enough for it or something. But yeah, that's been my last couple of weeks, is, you know, reinstalling everything. And because I had the foresight to save my app data folder, you know, the hidden one in Windows, I was able to like all of my collections and my Penumbra collections, my Glamour configurations, all that type of shit, I was able to successfully recover. So I didn't have to do all of that all over again. But so I was able to make G poses like this. My reshape presets were lost, so I have to make like this one, for example, kind of by scratch. And yeah, so that's where I've been. And for these streams, like I'm gonna try and do like either an art stream, like here. Let's switch over properties. You know, I should just add a new fucking source. Where are you? There you are. You do. Come on. I guess we're having some technical difficulties with Krita. 1 second. Specific window. Okay, let's try this. There it is. Syntax video capture, window capture. Let's try. Krita. There you go. Okay, that works. Alright, Krita, but you're not in game. And I don't know why. Oh, okay. That's very unusual. Obviously, some technical difficulties here with this one. You might be asking, so why does she have fucking white directly on top of her? Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I could not tell you. at a complete loss. Okay, let's try this display. Like, I don't really trust display capture, but let's see. That's that. Okay, there we go. Now let me reshape this. It's very much a work in progress test stream, as you can see. I have nothing set up. I have no fancy whistles and doodads. I think a lot of people choose a format that's way more does not scale properly with my desktop size. I'll just cut the bottom off. But anyway, yeah. So that's the process. Like I'll probably be doing more of I'm just archery games. Like I'm still trying to figure out like what like a regular time to do this type of thing on. I'm still trying to figure out like I said exactly what I'll be streaming other than reminders to get on session. Yeah, if you have any ideas. Also the what's the word I'm looking for? Um, I lost my train of thought. Or is it? Yeah, no. If you want to duo some games on here, the like we did the Quake. Oh, yeah. So all that recording that we did with the Quake, your first time with Quake, yeah, that got fucking deleted. Rip. My fucking like 6 hours of footage of the quarry gone before I could even edit it. I had like one other game that was lined up ready to upload as a video, gone. Ripperoni. But yeah, the as far as but it's like because went and spent the money on this that solid state app, I am gonna try to use Linux when I can. Like I'm gonna try to give it a go. But like there's a lot of the friction. Like there's a lot of things where it's like, is this actually like worth it versus just a deep loaded Windows? And I think for most people, like especially when it comes to spending money on another like solid state drive, like I had the money for it, but I think for most people the answer is going to be no. The I don't know if my VR headset is going to work with what's the word I'm looking for with Linux. It's a Meta Quest 3 fucking maximum spyware. Meta's like the worst fucking company. Like, but at this point, I'm basically operating under the mindset of what's on my Windows install is like what I would be willing to let the general public see for on the street corners and the fucking uh like a very very minimalist approach where like there's nothing secure on it, like there's no passwords to anything except like the gamer accounts that I would use on Windows, and then have most of my day-to-day stuff be on Nobara Linux, which is like almost zero telemetry. It's like the programs that you use, like for example, when you log into Steam, obviously it's logging your IP, which is why I use a VPN. Like it's logging your activity, things like that. Like things like that. Like no OS can stop that. But there's also other things where it's like at least the OS itself isn't spying on you, and it's not dragging you down with like I said, like with Windows, just by running a deep load script, it can go like 15% faster. Like it was noticeable. Like wow. Like I don't like I have a computer that can handle all that bloat, but like for the old laptop, like it would be smothered under all that bullshit. Which is why for like an old laptop or older computers that don't need to have cutting edge fucking professional grade Adobe setups, professional grade streaming and hardcore gaming like or they like I'm not demanding anything of them other than to just not be bloated to death because they can't handle it as well. So yeah, like I'll be using Pop OS for that old laptop because it's just a fucking some basic games and web browsing. And by basic games I mean like ancient shit from like Diablo 3 era. And which is like fucking 12 years ago. I also have going down the Linux chud fucking rabbit hole with by just having a completely separate dedicated laptop for privacy, which is Linux Cube. That was actually my first Linux experience, and it is rated dead last in terms of which Linux, OSs should you try first. Like it was such a nightmare. Like it still is. Like it's one of those using cubes is like one of those things where like you survive rather than like you don't like proactively build or engage because it's so frustrating and hard to use. Like you just use it to open Tor browser and that's about it. Like it is the gold standard for privacy. Like especially if you're in a country where there's good reason to fear being fingerprinted by big tech. There's good reason to fear being profiled by the regime, Not to name names, Erica, uh, certain countries with that in their name are becoming the place where like people are being killed. People are being thrown without an arrest warrant into prison. People are scared. People are fleeing, you know? The And so for that, like all these things suddenly becomes, a concern, and it's like it can be a rabbit hole that you can go too far in. Like unless you're gonna be like Ted Kaczynski living in a fucking hut, completely disconnected, like you're gonna have to accept a certain amount of risk. But it's like there's things you can do to greatly reduce that. Like the reason why I push people to use Session, to use Proton VPN or Mullvad VPN, or to use Proton Mail instead of Google Mail. To use Proton Calendar instead of Google Calendar, to use a Graphene OS if you have a phone that can handle it. Like I bought a new phone, a Google Pixel 9, because it was like on sale. I put a Graphene OS on it, and I've never looked back. Like I'm actually very happy. Uh, Android is Linux based, by the way, but like with Graphene OS, it's like having that cube style segregation of different profiles that don't talk to each other, and having a carefully walled off Google Play rather than the Samsung version, which is where it just has privileged, kernel level access to everything. It's like, it's a lot of peace of mind. And then for my cell provider, I switched to Cape because they have, a bunch of things that help you. Like anytime you connect to a cell tower, you're not invisible, but like there's certain things that can help make it harder to pin you down. And the idea for with all this is to not become invisible to the alphabet boys, but that's not really possible. But to make it so that their AI algorithm that's sorting people on confidence lists for loyalty in camps, to make it so that you stay below the radar, because if there's a false positive and like you have no defense, like they don't give a shit, like there's no recourse, no lawyer, no trial, nothing. Like they don't care. They err on the side of fucking grab people. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. The yeah, there's a lot of things like that's why I look for like a Proton things that are very user friendly, things that are low friction, like Session. Like Session's like takes 2 seconds to fucking install and set up. It's not paid like Threema. Like stuff like that the things that I know people can adopt without like disrupting everything, or using LibreWolf with what's the word I'm looking for, with WebRTC extension, and that can help a lot, without being the slow Tor network type of shit. Like Tor is like it's great, don't get me wrong, but it's not perfect, and it's slow as fuck. Like you pay a price for privacy, but one thing I like about Proton VPN, which again is 40% off right now, is when the paid version has stealth protocol, which is where it disguises itself as HTTPS traffic, so your ISP doesn't actually know that you're using a VPN, and you can the accelerator. It's like I said, I'm using a VPN right this second, it's, you know, fast enough to actually be streamable with. And you know, the very fact that you're using a VPN is going to start looking more and more suspicious to the regime as it gets more and more paranoid. So everyone should have one with a stealth protocol. Also, your plan covers your cell phones and things like that. Like I use it on all my cell phones, etc. Proton Drive is a replacement for Google Drive, and except that unlike Google Drive, it's like when you put stuff on Google Drive, like it scans everything, pictures, you, everything, you know, and helps put together a profile. Like, and the thing is, the AI, the profilers, and the algorithm builders are getting to know you so well. Like, for example, there's been documented cases where it knows a girl's pregnant before her own family did. You know, things like that, because of, you know, it tracks you across everything. Like all of it is being correlated and bundled together. And at first it was just a privacy violation, but now it's being used for much more sinister things. And they're not putting all that together just to, you know, so that they can buy you more White Monster at the most opportune time. Like things are dicey, but yeah, and that's why I am, yeah, like I said, like I'd say more on session, but the yeah, things are things are shocking. Like I had no idea we'd be here, but I probably should not be talking about it on a live stream. Um, so yeah, so like I said, for content wise, like I'm thinking, you know, like I said, certain games that just are too like long, like Stellar Blade, for example, that are too long, like a let's play video of it, you know, unless you cut everything except a couple of highlights, like no one's gonna watch a fucking like 9 hour Stellar Blade playthrough. So I'm gonna have to find games that are short. I found the next one I think is going to be I think it's gonna be great. Everyone's gonna fucking hate it. It's about giant spiders. Yeah, a little indie game. Yeah, with giant spiders. I hope it's not as shitty as that indie game with fucking dinosaurs that I played. Like the I had one. It's like a found footage horror with Jurassic Park basically, and it's on this channel. Like if you're on YouTube right now, but yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. Uh, and it's like it was a little disappointing. Like I ended up the part that you see is like 2 hours shorter than the whole thing because there's just so much frustrating back and forth and tedious, you know, bullshit. But I'm hoping the spider one will horrify everyone because everyone loves spiders. Like what could be more lovable than giant spiders? Um, and then of course waiting for the next, you know, AI to you AI girlfriend. Like the thing about the AI to you ones, those are my first videos. Like the AI girlfriends that like they're using like ChatGPT and things like that to generate their answers like in on the spot. And it's because they're AI, like they generate like the most bizarre fucking answers, which I find really funny. Like they are wild, especially if you start deliberately fucking with them. But let's see what else. I probably won't be doing anything to like Counter Strike and shit like that. Like those are just not games that I'm good at or play. The I still have, you know, Darktide and Marvel Heroes if you want. But yeah, I figured you didn't want to play that anymore. Um, the let's see what else. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because it's like I'm streaming to an audience of like 3 people. Like it's hard to figure out what exactly people want. But the um, it'll be a work in progress. And also, it's like with the way things are going now, it's like with economies crashing, with fucking, you know, oil going up. Oil going up is going to bleed into everything. That because like from the time like, you know, iron is mined out of the ground, shipped to a port, smelted, refined, you know, sent to fucking everything, you know, to be needed. Yeah, I think like for certain games, like core games that are like longer, I'll probably just use streaming. And the but it's like yeah, like with every like oil affects the price of every step of the way, so that like you're gonna eventually start seeing like a 30% fucking markup on shit, you know, because if the price of oil keeps going up, because like that, and also like when you're ordering stuff, all the parts that are used to make it, you know, are being have to be, the oil is used to ship them to the, the next step in the next factory. Oil is used to ship it, from some slave labor camp in China to, to your Amazon warehouse, from the Amazon warehouse to your door. So it's like, yeah, like I think like there's a non-zero chance that China's gonna invade fucking Taiwan this year. There's a non-zero chance that Russia's preparing to, attack the Baltics. There's God knows where this Iran thing is gonna fucking end. I don't. It looks like a It looks like an owl holding a heart. I don't actually know. Yeah, I can't tell. It's a blue owl, I think, holding something. But yeah, heart. But that's like I know that like paying money to streamers and being video games are probably not the top of people's priorities when they're feeling the crunch financially. But we'll, I'll give it a go because you got to work with the resources they have, and one of the resources I do have, thanks to Letty, is a banging computer and streaming software. And after 2 weeks of fucking agony, a boot drive for Linux. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to make like a YouTube like documentary of like just how miserable it is. Like there's a lot to be said for Linux, and a lot of times where Linux nerds are not appreciating just how frustrating it is for normal people. Like it's gotten a lot better, but there's still a lot of friction. There's still a lot of questions making people ask like, is this better than just a fucking debloated Windows? Because like you can debloat Windows by just finding a reputable script, running it in PowerShell. And I'm sorry, when Linux people, but no, it is not normal for people to open the console to enter MS DOS fucking commands. Like the only time I have ever opened the PowerShell in my fucking life was to run a debloat script. But it's like Windows does have like a certain amount of setup. Like when you install Windows like fresh, like it takes a long time. Like Windows is like it's like a fucking hour, maybe not quite that long, but it's like Windows is a long install, and then it demands online access. Like I have an offline account, but like you can bullshit the online only thing by unplugging your Ethernet cable and then entering like there's a certain command you can go to force it to say skip that and then create a local account, or you can create an account online and then disconnect it from online, which is what I ended up doing. Uh, it's like there's a lot of people who would be asking like, is that actually the fuss and bother of completely reinstalling it, a new OS, or buying a new solid state drive, installing a new OS? It's like, is that actually justified? For most people, probably the answer is probably no. Like unless you're like really really purpose driven, but like for if you have like a spare laptop with at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, it you I take it back. No, you should not install cubes. Like it is a fucking nightmare to use. But if like you want like if you want to go down the privacy hole, like I've been trying to do, like it's been like a sort of like a self teaching thing. It's like I was watching some videos while I was working out about like self taught like a sort of like project oriented self teaching, and it is a sort of looking for it's a way of like setting micro goals for something you're already curious about. And right now this is current thing that has my attention for the next 10 seconds. But like I've like my drive to GPOs has just been lost lately. It's something I don't have stories and things that I want to tell with it or ideas. It's just that the the labor and effort to go through it, and that's certain for like fucking 3 likes is just like but at the same time it's like I can't deny that G posing is how I build up my followers. Like I can't completely pivot away from FF14. Like that's what the only thing people know me for is for that. Like, and on Instagram it's like I've got like 1,800 followers, which is not the numbers that being a cat girl Vogue model can get you. But it's a start, I guess, and hopefully I can convert that into likes and views on things that can be monetized, like YouTube videos and live streaming and things like that. And hopefully I'll get a little bit more coverage on Twitter now that I have to pay for I have to pay $8 a month to stream to Twitter for the blue check mark, which is the blue check mark that is completely worthless now. Like anyone, including Pajit, the fucking scammer from India, can get a blue check mark. Like it means nothing now. It just means that you paid Elon, and I feel a little bit dirty for having done so. But it's like you know, for $8, it's like I can handle that per month as a way to try to hopefully get a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for, spread. But the I you know what I need to do? I need to figure out a way right now. The reason why you're not seeing me drawing is because my microphone is on the far left and my drawing tablet is on the far right. Like I do not have an optimized desk. Like once I move, I'm hoping to get like a proper desk where I can just put everything and you know won't have Skipper jumping up and knocking everything all over. Yeah, it's because it's like you wouldn't be able to hear me. Like I'd have to completely like move my microphone somewhere or I need to move something around in order to draw right now and talk on the mic. And this thing keeps losing my face. Come on, Doge. Hey, get it together, man. I know I'm ugly, but try to pay attention. It's like, well, people like, and like the reason why I'm using Doge at all is like I'm sorry, but like this is not just a good time to be blasting your actual real face across the internet, especially if you're not young and pretty. Hey, there we go. Got to wave your hand in front of the webcam sometimes for it to get it. And it's possible that I could. I wonder if there's some way to zoom the webcam in. I don't know. Like, there's a few things I need to learn. Like I said, like this is all so fucking amateur. Like it's all so. What's the word I'm looking for? Like it's definitely the streamer on the budget who has zero experience with the making things look fancy. But hopefully it'll be good enough. I mean, yeah. So if you're wondering why, yeah, I use Doge just because I have a messy room. I'm not young and pretty. You're not missing anything. I don't actually want to blast my face across the internet, especially at a time like this. And yeah, I probably will eventually need to get things like bots for the stream and things like that and music. Like in the past when I was streaming for my D&D games, like or other just regular video games, like the music was yeah, if I see you in chat, I'll play it on YouTube because yeah, I didn't have the actual thing set up. Like I need to find like a fucking mentor who's like a bit. I need a big streamer to take me under their wing and be like, okay, here's how you configure fucking everything. Um, but yeah, like the setting up the multi-stream actually was not that hard. Like I thought that was going to be like this big process, and like there's a lot of paid services. It's like, oh, you pay us like fucking $20 a month, and you can stream to our RMTP server or RTP, whatever it is, uh, and we'll broadcast it to all your accounts. And it's like, or I could just download, stream assets for fucking free and install it on OBS for free. And that's what you are looking at right now. And I can see that on Twitter, I have 7 views. I don't see anyone talking, but whatever. The I have it set so that only followers can talk because I don't want to get spammed by a million people. Like it's Twitter. It's impossible to write anything without like fucking someone commenting pussy in bio or some shit. Or some people saying, "Oh, I love your art." Like if you tag your art as art, like I'd love to talk to you about purchasing it. It's like it's a scam. You know, it's like the people on Instagram who follow you, and then if you follow them back, they instantly message you like, "Hey, I love you. Like your character's really cool. Maybe you'd like to have a drawing of them." It's like if you have artist in your fucking bio, I'm sorry, but I'm not following you because I know that there is a 99% chance that you will immediately message me like the bot that you are and try to scam me with art. And I don't like being scammed for art. Like I'd rather fucking generate AI of my character than pay some scammer. But let's see, on Twitch, I don't actually know what the numbers are on Twitch. Like, let me go actually look. Let's see, Twitch. I couldn't get like the Kick, like the website for Kick wouldn't even fucking load. So it's like, okay, well, let's see where it is. Me, myself, and I. Oh, here we go. Oh, you're gonna love my on Twitch my channel. Me, myself, and I. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, on Twitch, so there's no one watching. But the what do you call it? My Twitch profile picture on come on, is the Shambler wearing his Tim's. He's been a favorite of mine for fucking years now. And unfortunately, like I said, the video with your first time with a Shambler was lost to the fucking ether. Rip. And I have not logged into Twitch in like so fucking long. Like it's been literal years. It's like I don't know. Like I have a hard time watching like streams. I do always have like YouTube playing in the background when I do stuff, but yeah, streams are the kind of thing that even though I myself am trying to be a streamer, I've always found it personally a little difficult to watch just because of my own attention span and things like that. But it's good to have you here though. Let's see, what else can I? Let me see if I can try and get this set up so that I can draw while without completely screwing up the microphone. I think as I have a different microphone that is a little bit better set up for this type of thing that I'm going to have to switch to. I think like I have a Yeti. It was at one point trying to set up a serious podcast. I have a nice Yeti. What the Yeti Blue, not Bluetooth, just Blue. I've been watching Rock of Love with my mom. I don't know what Rock of Love is, but come on, this fucking. I don't know if my webcam's going or it's just the software is shit. Like, come on, Doug, look at me, Doug. This fucking Facebook is leaves things to be desired. There we go. But I wish I knew how to like zoom in my webcam though. Like there must be some Logitech thing. I have a nice HyperQuad-X. Oh, I actually have a leftover one, but sure, if you want to. Travel shows with Brett Michaels. Well, it can't be worse than fucking Bridgerton. I had a because like Flame was like, oh, we need to go to Sin's birthday. It's Bridgerton themed. It's like, okay. It's like, oh well, if you don't know what it's about here, I'll send you a synopsis video. And I watched it with her. Like the TLDR video was like 45 fucking minutes, and like the entire thing was just high school drama, fucking gossip and sex. Oh, okay. Well, if you want, sure. Like I have an extra mic that I might switch to, just because it's a little easier to position. Like this one, you have to like. I don't have a stand for this one, so it's clamped into the on the side of the desk, and that right now, because like for my drawing pad, it's not optimal, and my webcam is not optimal because it's too far over. Let's try moving it over here. How about this? How about this, Doug? Doug, hey, look at me. All right, there you are. But the sure, like if you want to, yeah, like I'll try it. The okay, well I have a stand that I can from like the one that's laying around. Like I have just unused shit laying around. But yeah, like I for this art stuff though, I want to try to learn Coral Painter, but it's like fuck man, it's so such a pain in the ass, and then it's like I'm not entirely sure how worth it is simply because Like, okay, so it looks like a very hyper realistic, uh, uh, painting, but like, is that actually worth the price? Versus Krita, which does, good enough. The answer is no, probably not. I'm probably gonna stick to Krita right now. Yeah, like so this one right that I'm working on right now, I to restart because I let me move this 1 second. I had to restart because like when I lost the old Windows install, it nuked all my work in progress. Fucking uh, it nuked all my work in progress stuff, aka my art. 1 second. I just realized also like I have a nice mechanical keyboard, but I realized like on stream that's probably loud as fuck. Whoops. Let's see if we get a little work done with this. And oh, also, so I've stopped using YouTube basically to listen to stuff, and now I have FreeTube, which is, as I said, free. And yeah, I think everyone should try it. The where is this? Hold on. I have just shit blowing up. What do you got? Like, everyone's attacking me now. Someone asking me about NSFW. I'm not gonna feel on that right now. Okay. All right. So let me know if you can still hear me okay. Like, let me see if I can move this one. I'm gonna try to angle myself in such a way that I'm moving this drawing tablet over as far to the left as I can and holding my head up. But yeah, let me know if you guys can. Oh, wait, I can move this over here. Okay, this might help. It will hopefully suffice while I draw. Okay, good. Yeah, so this drawing tablet, like you can see, like I don't actually have a lot of talent, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I just have a couple of favorite brushes, and that's about it. I mostly have to just copy the reference image, but where is paint? But yeah, I mostly have to just copy the reference image. They don't really have this skill like an actual artist to just draw freehand. So I use the how do you call it? An airbrush layer to try to trace it, and then from there try to paint in what's missing. And this is Mayumi from Instagram, and I have done a few others. I've done you. I've done Piggies, and this is probably not a good thing to do late at night because the bright colors in the blue light are not the best for your sleep schedule, but whatever. Let's see if I can get some. Ooh. Okay. Take care. And Thank you. Yeah, no, it's the first time. This is like it was only going to do like a 10-minute test, but it's like now we're like if I have someone to talk to, we'll just jump right into a paint stream. Um, I don't know what ooh is, but yeah, ooh, have fun with that. Check session. Now, for anyone who's still watching, let's have some music, huh? Let's see what we can find. What do we feel like listening to, fam? Oh, actually,
better than ever. I knew it was good when I can make it back outside of a
we can listen to a
substantial, but I think
Deadly
it's the best way
Shadows,
you could play the game. But the vanilla
the Deadly Shadows review. Me.
game is worse in a lot of ways. It's due to hard, unpaid work that a few people did that we even have it this good. So finally, I can play the game.
Actually, it's probably not appropriate for a stream to have someone else's voice like that. Let's just go with some ambient music. Some deep tranquility, healing, relaxing music, sure, whatever. What's this?